Hey, welcome to another edition of Strategic Moves with Lou. I'm Mike Hendren, a real estate agent here in Wichita Falls, Texas with Strategic Realty, and seated next to me is Lou Italis, the owner-broker of Strategic Realty, the boss lady.
Maybe.
Call her.
Y'all are my bosses.
The boss.
Y'all are my
Yes. Oh,
I work for y'all.
Oh, well, I try not to rub it in,
Okay.
but, anyway.
I'm like that one that's on call all the time.
Yeah, I know.
Can you go show this house for me? Yeah, sure.
I tell her I call her and it immediately goes to voicemail. Yeah, she's ignoring me. She's annoyed. Crap. Here we go.
Anytime my phone goes to voicemail, I feel guilty. So I don't listen to my own voicemails. And I don't leave voicemails for others because I don't expect other people to listen to voicemail if I'm not going to listen to mine.
See, and I'm getting better about the text messaging.
Text messaging I'm usually pretty good at, except for I've ignored a couple of yours.
Yes, you have, recently.
Just recently. Because, man, I get a million texts every day.
I know you do.
You look at one day and it's like, that's how many texts I've gotten already this morning.
I know.
And then yesterday. See, look, that's 27.
Okay. All right. I got it. Don't text. Don't text.
No. I love text, actually. Yes. No, I love text.
So I used to be really bad about hating texting. I hated it.
Oh, yeah.
And I still, how everybody abbreviates everything. I still can't make myself do that. I have to type complete sentences, which drives my kids wacko.
My kids don't like punctuation for some reason.
That makes me want to just explode. It just does. That's the old student in me, I guess. The grammar,
I've
just got to be right.
Yeah,
I do too. Well, punctuation can be very important, especially commas.
I don't mind doing, yeah, exactly. Commas are crucial.
Yes.
I don't mind doing the OMG or the, LOL or the.
Look, I got a reply.
Right back or.
I got a reply from a client the other day. It said no, thank you. Like, it's what he meant to say was no, comma, thank you, because I had said thank yous, and what he meant to say was no, thank you, but it looks like no, thank you, like I don't care. So then I have to call and clarify. What did you mean? What I think you meant here, or is it something else?
Do you not want it?
Do you not want it? If you don't want it, it's okay. You're not going to hurt my feelings. Well, you are going to hurt my feelings, but I won't tell you you're going to hurt my feelings.
Oh gosh.
Oh,
so the market. So clearly we're in squirrel mode this morning.
It has the last few weeks have been dizzying, to say the least, and of course. We've got some new construction stuff going up here in Wichita Falls, Northwest Drive. It's an area that's never been there's never been any homes on this property before. These are brand new builds, brand new homes on land that has not been developed for residential use before. It was agricultural use for many decades, and now it's residential. It's turning into a residential neighborhood. This area, and it is. It's exploding. Everything that's over there is sold right now. If it's standing up, it's got an owner. But we still have a few properties left to build on and more to develop as we go forward.
Yep, we'll have within the next year or two, we'll have another 50 or so built in the back there. And
it's all of that requires a little bit of work with, like with the city. You got infrastructure you got to make sure is all in place. You got to build streets. You got to curb and gutter. You got to do all this stuff.
Yep.
So it's not just like, oh, there's a piece of property, let's just throw a house up on it. It's not that easy. There's a
lot of red tape and blue tape and
green tape and yellow tape and purple tape and
oh my God, tape.
A lot of I's to dot and T's to cross and about documents about that thick, to go through. So it's just it's a process.
But I'm excited, yeah.
Oh yeah. When you see those houses going up, and you see the finished product going together, and okay, this is going to be in a few weeks this is going to be somebody's home.
Yeah.
And they'll live there for a few years and they'll sell it maybe to somebody else.
It'll give people, the average person, a chance to own something that's brand new.
Yeah.
I think that's really our generation and our kids' generation can really appreciate that.
Well, you think about what was, the average price of a home 20 years ago in this market. 95,000, 90,000.
Yeah, probably
in that
90s.
range. Low to mid 90s.
Now it's 200.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah, for an average home.
Somewhere between 175 to 200 is an average.
Yeah. I know.
Decent home.
Yeah. I know what I live in. I couldn't buy for what I paid for it.
Yeah, not needing $100,000 worth of work.
Right.
Yeah.
And you see that now. You go into a home that's $125,000 to $140,000, and
it needs everything.
The carpet hasn't been changed since the Brady Bunch was on TV. I mean, it was
got the green carpet or the mustard yellow carpet,
or the one that kills me is the mustard yellow countertops. The Formica.
Yeah.
That mustard yellow Formica. It's like
I owned a home.
Somebody thought that was a good idea once.
I owned a home that had the olive green ceramic sink and matching stove. And matching oven. It was like ceramic. It was like a lighter version of this color.
Olive,
like an light olive green.
Oh my gosh!
I'm like, yeah, the 70s must have been so much fun.
It's a nightmare. I remember growing up as a kid having appliances that color, refrigerator and all that stuff, and
came in several different colors, probably from Sears.
Or paneling. You walk in and there's paneling everywhere. It's like, ooh.
Everything looks dark.
Everything's dark, yeah. And the thing about it is, if you can buy a home like that, and if you've got money to put into it, to do some work on it, if the bones are good, you can make something really special out of it. You really can. You can make something really special.
You can gains that house pretty easily.
You can. But looking at the market right now, what the average cost is, what we're getting.
Supplies is always the
man. That's been another rough thing.
That's a hard one for me because you know what? Yes, a lot of times there's a lot of talented people out there that are very handy, and I'm not saying that you're one of them, but every so often I'll walk into a house that was definitely DIY'd, and they had no business doing DIY. Like it. I just, it's kind of like, no, it's got to be all done all over again because everything in this house just does not look right.
There's
so sometimes there's that fine line. You got to make sure that you know what you're doing and that.
There's one that I saw recently. The kitchen. The sink is literally in a corner. And the oven sticks out about halfway into where the sink is. So to use the left side of the sink, you're leaning over the stove.
Oh, no.
And I went, how drunk did you have to be? or whatever. I mean, seriously, I saw that and I went, that's just, even I wouldn't make that mistake.
Was there a window right above it or something?
There was a window where the sink should have been. Normally in a kitchen on an exterior wall.
This was clearly DIY mistake.
Somebody redid this and just.
They probably bought a pre-made sink hole, like pre-made cabinet.
Something and
it didn't quite.
So like
work.
the window was centered where the sink should have been centered under the window.
Right.
So the window's in the right place, but the sink is way over here. And it's like, why would you do this?
They got that sink from the Habitat for Humanity.
I don't know what, or the countertop, and the hole was way over here, so they just dropped the sink in it, and it was one of those, $99 stainless steel sinks you get at, Sutherland's or something, and it just real flimsy, Anyway, you see all kinds of stuff. We're still in a market situation where we don't have enough listings in the marketplace. We still don't have enough listings.
No, we don't.
What are we now, about 130, 120?
I don't even. let me check real quick while you continue with your explanation.
Thinking somewhere in the 120, 130 range. You know, in a great market situation where there's maybe some balance, you'd have 300.
You know what? I honestly, I don't know what our balance is, because at one point we had 900 listings.
Yeah.
And that was like right before the flood, not the flood.
The drought.
That was right before the drought lifted.
How many?
About 900.
See, and to me, that seems high, but it was probably pretty close to, I don't know. Market equilibrium is hard to figure in this business.
So, I mean,
it
that
really
would have been
is.
the other extreme. That would have been too many listings as far as I know. So I'm thinking maybe somewhere between 500 to 600 listings on the market at any given time is a pretty healthy number to go with.
Be a nice number to have. Yeah.
Let's see what we got.
Comfortable number. We're looking up the number here. What do we got?
I don't need the area.
We need a drum roll. We need a Tiffany right here is what we need. We
Status.
need to hire a drummer for this show. We just somebody just sitting there, just, you know.
Yeah.
We're looking up facts or whatever.
All right. So just for sale, we have 132.
130. So I was right.
Pretty spot on.
132. And you know, and some people look at that and go, "Wow, that's a lot of houses." No, it's not.
There's 100,000 people in this town.
And you've got people
this isn't just in Wichita Falls. This is 5 counties.
This is the whole market.
Wichita, Clay,
Archer,
Wilbarger. Well, Montague and Wilbarger aren't technically our counties, but there's a lot of listings in our
and listings are great. Family homes. Yeah, you know, properties. You know, 3 bed, 2 bath. They're not all that. You know.
So, for instance, let's go and look at them really, because we got a median price is $195.
Okay.
So that's pretty good. Yep. The low is $20,000, and the high is $4.7 million.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, at least it ain't San Francisco, where the median price is $1.3 million. Yeah. Ugh. Good grief.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
The range is pretty significant.
Can you imagine being say you make $40 an hour in San Francisco and you're trying to find a house? You can't afford a house.
No.
At $40 an hour, you can't afford a house.
She has a house that her mortgage payment's like $4,400 a month.
Oh my gosh. That's wild.
That's like the cost of a car every month.
Well, some people in this market, that's their whole income for a month. That's everything that they make.
She makes more. Well, she's in a unique position. She's actually retired military, so she has multiple sources of income.
Okay.
She has retirement from the military. Her husband has retirement from the military as well. There you go. And then they both have full-time jobs.
Well, there you go. Yeah.
So they can afford it.
Yeah.
But I certainly couldn't.
Not me.
Not unless I was selling $1 million houses every month.
Yeah, yeah, and
maybe that's possible.
Well, it could. Well, California. Yeah. I would think in California it could be, but here
all
in
I
North,
would need to do is sell $1 million house every month.
You're done. You know, take the rest of the month off, go play golf, or whatever. But it's
just imagine me playing golf.
You're not a golfer.
Negative, Ghost Rider.
No, I can play. I don't play well. I play badly. I'm the comic relief on the golf course. I'm the guy that gives everybody a laugh. The
class clown.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I'm looking at this form. There's like 3 or 4 $4 million homes. There's 2. There's Headquarters Road, and then there's one, and that's in Iowa Park.
Yep.
Oh, that's a beautiful house.
Yeah.
It's like 100 and something acres on it too. So.
Yeah. That's another thing too, is when you start, if you're looking for a home and acreage, boy, is it slim pickings right now.
There's one in Scotland for $2.4 million.
Yeah. It's really slim. Now.
And then it goes from 2.4 to 1.1, and then from 1.1 to 750, and then
it scales down from there. Yeah. Yeah. So in that range of homes that the average person can afford. we're somewhere between probably 195 and 275.
All right. So if I do that specific type of search, I'm going to do a price range. So let's say between 100,000 and 250.
Say 250.
250.
Go with 250. And where does that put us?
How many does that give us? 55.
55.
So only 55 people can find a house this year.
And
this month.
I promise you, that is not even close to where we need to be.
Okay, so we got it in Electra, we got Byers, we got Petrolia, we got even Oklahoma, we got Burke Burnett, we got Henrietta, we got Owl Park, Lake Arrowhead, Archer City. There's only like maybe 3 in Archer City. There's only 1 in Holiday and 1 in Dean.
Killer. Wow.
So
it is. Then you add to this complication, not just the being able to find the house, but then you add to this the interest rate situation that we're facing right now.
My word.
Interest rates are going up, and
gotta get creative with that shopping, y'all.
Everybody's been talking about this. We've been talking for months about what the Fed's going to do. Interest rates are going to go up. I heard something the other day about another. Is it 50 basis points? I think it is, or something like that. I hope I'm using the terminology right. Anyway, another increase coming, and they're talking about maybe as many as 7 this year. Now, here's
I don't even know how. I don't.
Well, but Lou, here's what.
You know what? I'm retiring and gonna move to Costa Rica. We can frack it.
Here's the thing. I know enough about economics to know this. It is constantly in flux. Constantly. Yeah, the economy is cyclical. It's this up, down, up, down, hills and valleys.
We haven't seen this bad in a very long time.
This is but here's the thing. We've also had a period of extremely low interest rates for how long now?
And we hadn't seen that forever either. So
I don't know. Well, we saw historically low interest rates.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
We saw people buying houses at 2.345%, 6%, and had never happened before.
Lucky ducks.
Now,
here you better keep that mortgage and pay your freaking bills.
That's right. If you got one that cheap and you got a fixed rate, you have robbed the bank, literally. But
don't try and refinance.
No. But here's the thing. We saw a situation in the late 1970s, the early 1980s, where people were paying 12 and 13% interest on homes.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I think that we're headed to that.
And I don't, Lou. I don't think we're going that high because I don't think we can. I think, and I think I may have mentioned this last week. While I'm not a fan of the Fed, and I don't necessarily agree with some of the things that they engage in or do, these are not stupid people. These are not stupid people.
They don't want to break the world.
They understand that they will break the world if they go too far. They're not stupid. They understand there's a line you can go up to, and you may
even if they go up as far as like right now, we're looking at possibly even having 6 and 7% interest. I think that's I mean, the closer it gets to double digits, the scarier. In my mind,
I think you may see some double-digit numbers for people who have less than good credit. You know, if you're trying to get a loan and your credit's 600, 620, yeah, you could end up in that. High risk group. You know, where you're getting 10%, 10.5% interest.
Jesus.
But I think. Again, these people are not stupid. They're not dumb. They understand there's a line you can go up to, and you might step on it, but you better not cross it. And I think they know that. Here's the thing.
I applaud you for your faith in humanity, but
Lou, here's the thing. We've all seen it, and they've seen it. Everyone has seen the economy at its worst.
Yeah.
We all remember 2008. We all remember gas at $4.15 a gallon here in Texas and $7 a gallon in California and $9 a gallon in Alaska. We all remember what it was like. a few years ago.
Yeah.
We all
we're already there.
but we're not. I don't think this is the same. My gut tells me that things are going to relax a little bit. This is me talking. I am not a financial planner. I studied economics in college. Okay.
Basically, we think he's smoking crack.
I just don't. My gut tells me this is different somehow. Back in 08, we were coming off the subprime mortgage thing.
Is it? It's more political than
there's a lot
real?
I think there's more politics involved right now in what's going on than maybe there was 12, 14 years ago. But remember the subprime mortgage thing. Remember that. We don't have that situation now. We don't have that particular situation right now. And in our market, even back then, because I remember, 10 years ago talking to people that I knew in the banking industry. And they said, it's not a big, talking about us here in North Texas, it's not a huge worry for us here because we didn't really have that many subprime loans here.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't have that.
Yeah. This was more a concern if you were on the West Coast, if you were on the East Coast, if you were in a big metro area. Yeah, you had big problems with that. We didn't have that here. And, every part of the country, look at the exodus we've seen to Texas in the last 10 years. The last 2 or 3 years, we have seen this massive exodus of people coming from the West Coast, Washington, California, Oregon, Arizona. I got one I'm working with from Arizona right now. They're moving here. They're coming to Wichita Falls, Texas, and we are actively looking for a house for them right now. And I think they're in the Scottsdale area, which would be kind of north
of that $2 million one.
I'm telling you. It might be a bargain.
That's the only one in Scottsdale.
I'm telling you, but I think they're in the Scottsdale area. So they're in this huge metro area, very, very expensive area. The economics are just so different everywhere you go.
Yeah.
But the overarching thing is with the interest rates, I just don't. I don't see them going as far maybe as they're threatening to go. I think what they're doing is they're trying to tap the brakes. They're trying to tap the brakes on inflation. And sometimes not actually doing things, but just talking about doing certain things can have an impact on the markets. And I think maybe what they're trying to do is tap the brakes on inflation a little bit. Because look where we are construction-wise, Lou.
Yeah.
OSB is $46 a sheet. You could buy it for $8 a sheet all day long 5 years ago, 3 years ago. So look where we are as far as just materials. So I think they are. I think they are trying.
All I know is that something's got to give.
I think something will. That's why I said my gut tells me this is not a repeat of 08. Could we go into a recession? Maybe. But I just don't. I don't think this is the same thing. I think it's different somehow. I just can't put my finger on what it is that's different.
Yeah.
Except maybe the politics. I do think it's more political than it was back then.
Yeah. I think that once we get, November is going to really be a telltale.
Oh, it's
telltale sign of where we're going to be at in the next 2 years.
I hope
that they're. I really do. I don't like talking politics on this show, but
I know. But I'm more focused on what things are going to look like post January of next year.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's definitely. What because the elections will happen in November,
right?
And I think there's going to be some sweeping changes politically.
I don't doubt it.
But a lot of that's where the rubber's going to meet the road is in January of next year.
When they start coming into power.
When the next Congress comes into power and what they do going forward. And I've said this on my morning radio show that I've hosted for years and years. I've said this for a long time. Government doesn't create anything. Government doesn't make anything.
No.
What government can do that helps us, that helps all of us, is they can help to foster a climate in which things can happen. Economically, they have a lot of sway in that way with not just interest rates, but policy. And so government can help to create and foster a climate in which things can happen and which good things can happen if they just want to. It's getting all the ends to meet in the middle, that's the problem. So
that's why I'm just gonna keep on trucking. I'll just Dory Dory the frack out of this for right now.
Keep swimming.
Yeah,
That's the thing. Is I don't think there's any. I don't think there's anything to panic about. Not yet.
I don't feel like we can.
I'm not panicked about anything.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm with you, Lou. I mean, I'm just going to keep trucking along, keep working with clients and customers, and keep trying to turn those customers into clients, and just keep working with people and trying to find you the house you want or help you sell your house or whatever.
Because I mean, that's really what we're going to have to do. Is we're going to have to start getting creative with where we send our customers to, because we do that a lot. Whenever customers call us up and like, well, I want to get a house and I really want to buy, and what lender do I talk to? And so we as real estate agents are going to have to really start doing our research, because
we offer a service.
I think that in the last 10 years, we've kind of gotten a little bit complacent about that part of our job, and we just let the customers come to us with their pre-qualification already set up, and like we let them shop for their own interest rate. Well, I think that we're going to have to start actually helping them figure that out.
I do, yeah.
Because sometimes they come to you with something that's completely outrageous, and if you think that you can help them find something better that's going to be in their best interest, that's part of our job. So we're going to have to start tapping on our resources a little bit and shopping around. I don't know what to do at this point. The one that I've been using the most right now has been Union Square.
Yeah.
Because their interest rates are pretty competitive still. They're not. They're doing some in-house lending for really, really good buyers. Like they're solid, 600. Over 700 credit score.
Yeah.
But for the ones that have difficult credit scores, I just don't know who to send them to right now anymore.
Yeah,
I have to do research.
Yeah, it's challenging.
So and lenders out there, if you guys are listening and you can work with the 780s credit scores and your interest rates aren't going to be like 8%, give me a call.
Yeah,
give us a call.
Yeah, absolutely.
We need to know.
Fostering those partnerships, those relationships with other, with the lenders and all the title companies and everybody, everybody working together.
That's be the struggle now. You're going to have trouble finding lender or because it all hinges on what the client can afford, right?
That's right.
If a client tells you, "Oh, well, I can't really afford anything more than $1,400 a month," or less, I guess $1,400 is pretty big, but anything more than $1,400 is going to be a stretch for my budget. So that means, doing the math, that they can't buy anything from. I'm going to do the math now. So 1,400 divided by 7 would be 200,000.
Yeah.
So they couldn't buy anything for more than 200,000.
Yeah.
Because it's 14. It's about $6 to $7 for every 1,000 that they borrow, right?
Yeah.
So if they borrow 200 times 7 would be 1,400.
Yeah.
And that's what it normally is. Now with the increase in interest rates, we might be more like at 7.5.
Yeah.
Like $7.50 for every 1,000 that they borrow.
I just think that
so if I was to do 1,400 divided by 7.5 would be 186,000.
Yeah.
So they can't buy anything more than 186,000 if they want to keep their mortgage payment with taxes and insurance and private mortgage insurance if they're going to if they're not going to do conventional and they're not going to put 20% down and they're going to have to pay that PMI.
Well,
so
it'll be interesting to see how things play out in the next. Sorry about that. Let's turn that off. It'll be interesting to see how that. It was very loud. I forgot to silence the watch. I apologize for that.
So now as interest rates go up, those numbers need to go up too. So that means that if the interest rate goes up to, let's say, 8%, now it's going to cost like $8 for every 1,000 that they borrow. Yeah. It's going to be $1,400 divided by 8. Now they can only afford $175,000.
That's
and that makes it more challenging.
Yes.
To find a house in that price market. They're going to lose a lot of inventory.
Right.
And that very well may also push sellers to start lowering their prices.
That might.
And so the markets, that's where everything kind of starts to shift back to a buyer's market.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see how it all plays out in the next few months. Guys, if you're looking to sell or buy a home, I'd love to help you out. Mike Hendren, Strategic Realty. My direct line, 940-232-3876, 940-232-3876. Would love to hear from you. You can also email me directly if you like, Mike at Hendren Media. I don't know if I've ever given my email address out. I've got another business I run, Hendren Media, Mike at HendrenMedia.com. You can email me there directly. You can go to our website, strategicrealty.net. And you can shop what we've got there on the website.
Or you can come visit us at Fairway.
Yeah, 4200 Fairway Boulevard in Wichita Falls. Very easy to find, right at the end of Caulfield and Fairway Boulevard. Easy to find. If they want to call the office, the number is
940-689-7900. I got a frog in my throat right at the last second.
But she got it out nonetheless right there. So anyway, guys, thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time with another edition of Strategic Moves with Lou. Until then, take care. We'll see you down the road, guys.
Toodles.